The day after the Eagles trade J.J. Arcega-Whiteside to the Seahawks, Jalen Hurts comes out, has his best day throwing of camp. Coincidence? And why is Miles Sanders out yet again? Are we going to be dealing with this all year? Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and I gotta tell you, I am still on cloud 9 that J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is gone. What a trade by the Eagles. What a trade by Howie Roseman. And today, Jalen Hurts, with no J.J. Arcega-Whiteside on his roster, comes out and he kills it. Totally goes off, throwing the ball in camp. His best day so far. Now, we're going to get into it in a second. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure to like. More importantly, make sure you subscribe for daily Eagles content, NFL football content. You don't want to miss it. We will be streaming the Eagles-Browns this week. We streamed the Jets last week. Should be a lot of fun. And if you've been subscribed for a while, just double check. Double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. All right, so the Eagles were back at practice today. They had today's practice, really their last one at camp, because their next, 4 practices or whatever is going to be versus the Browns and the Miami Dolphins. The Eagles will be off tomorrow, as I guess they're traveling to Cleveland. So this was their last practice, and here is the injury report. Will not practice. Calcaterra, hamstring. Ellis, hamstring. Epps was new to the injury report with a back. Hargrave, toe. Kelsey, elbow. Maiden, ankle. Sanders, hamstring. We're going to get into the Miles Sanders in a second, because I have a lot to say about the running backs. Greg Ward Jr., toe. He's missing a lot of practices with his toe, by the way. He wants to make this team. This isn't good. Limited. Clark, hamstring. Hightower, groin. Moreland, ankle. And Scott, concussion. Now, we got to talk about Miles Sanders, first of all. Okay, Miles is missing his second straight practice, and now they're revealing it's a hamstring injury. A couple days ago, it was soreness. And then somebody was saying it was a knee. And then now it's a hamstring. Hamstrings probably, knowing Miles Sanders and the injuries he's had before, it's probably a hamstring, okay? Now, hamstring, like a groin, is one of those injuries that you can't bring a guy back too early from. If it's not 100% healed and you risk bring him back early, the risk of them hurting it again is pretty high. So Miles Sanders, once again, is hurt. Now, it's training camp, it's preseason, so I don't want to sound like an alarmist. I don't want to make a big deal of it, because I don't know to what degree this injury is. If it was a regular season, would he play? That's the question. But it is concerning that we're going into Miles Sanders' final year of his contract. And here's a guy that has been plagued with injuries. And we get one preseason game. He plays, one series, and he's out. And now he's out with a hamstring injury. And I don't feel good about that at all. It makes me worried about the running backs going forward. There was a comment today about Kenneth Gainwell. It's very hard to judge whether he's made a jump from year 1 to year 2. So if he doesn't make that jump, Miles is consistently hurt. What are you going to do at the running back spot? We just got Boston Scott back from a concussion. So this is something we have to keep our eye on, because this is something that could creep up on us if Miles Sanders' injury is bad. I don't know to what degree his hamstring is, but usually a hamstring, a groin, one of those, even if they're tweaked, you got to let them fully recover. So I just don't know, but I hate the fact that the guy played one series of one preseason game, and he's already missed 2 practices. How are we going to make it through 17 games? And what if Kenneth Gainwell doesn't take the next step? What if he's not ready to be the guy? Now, I don't know if he is or if he isn't. People are saying it's kind of hard. He dropped a couple passes in practice today, so I don't know if it was his best day. But something to keep in mind, something to watch. And then you think about guys like Kareem Hunt and other running backs that could be out there. It could be a situation, especially if Miles is banged up, and we're going to go through this again, where the Eagles could make a move for another running back. You got to keep an open mind about it. Could be something that they do maybe at the trade deadline or something like that. Who knows? But seeing Miles out again, to me, it's one of the worst things that I could hear about today. You know, let's see what he does. Let's see if he practices. Maybe a rest today, then he doesn't practice tomorrow. Then maybe by Thursday he's ready to go. We'll see. But my guess is he ain't going to practice all week, and he ain't going to play in the game this week. So it's frustrating. It's just a little frustrating to me, you know. It just is. And speaking of injuries, Bradberry got a little banged up today. At one point, he left 11 on 11s, went in the tent, came back out, was with the team, watched the rest of practice. It didn't seem like it was that big of a deal. It was enough where he wasn't practicing the rest of the day, but he didn't go inside. He stayed out with the team. And then Josh Jobe got actual first-team reps. He has been slowly climbing up the depth chart, so keep an eye on him too, because he got a lot of good reps today. Now, speaking of good reps today, okay? Today was Jalen Hurts, apparently his best day at camp throwing. Now, I don't like to put the stat numbers on, but sometimes they're kind of funny and they crack me up. So we got to go right to Elliott Shore Parks for all the pertinent statistics, right? Let's look at this. This is going to be great. I love it. I love these. These are so crazy. All right, so Jalen Hurts today. 14 of 20, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Holy crap, 5 touchdowns. Made some really nice throws. The touchdown pass to A.J. Brown was a special throw. He definitely gets an A for today. So the man gets an actual A for the day. You gotta love it. And a guy getting A's for the day. So the play they're talking about to A.J. Brown is Jalen Hurts with a fast release and good zip on the ball down to A.J. Brown down the right sideline for touchdown. Josh Jobe and Kevon Wallace trailed in coverage. And that was considered the play of the day, along with a Devontae Smith toe tap reception at the sideline. Apparently, there was a play where Hurts goes back to pass. Hassan Reddick's coming. He rolls to his right, fires, and then at the sideline, Devontae Smith catches, gets 2 feet in, and that and the A.J. Brown play was considered the play of the day. And it's no surprise. The wide receivers are your strength. They're your strength. I mean, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. What's so cool about the Eagles' wide receiver situation and cornerback situation, for that matter, is when you look at A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, they're 2 different kind of receivers. When you look at Darius Slay and James Bradberry, they're 2 different kind of cornerbacks. And every day, all of them get to go against each other, learning how to go against guys that way. It makes Devontae Smith better, A.J. Brown better, Darius Slay better, and James Bradberry better. It's a great thing. I mean, they're going up against each other every day. Imagine when they play some of these teams that we're going to play. It's going to be a cakewalk. Going to be a cakewalk for them. So, yeah, Jalen Hurts had a great day today passing. And I like to pull up the stats sometimes. I just think it's funny. I don't put any stock into if he's 14 out of 20, 15 out of 25 touchdowns. It's practice. I don't put any stock into it. But sometimes it's just funny. But he did have a really good day throwing, okay? He hit Pascal. He hit Goddard many times. Apparently, the connection between Hurts and Goddard has been absolutely fantastic. So, he continues to get better throwing. I think if you really look at Jalen Hurts this training camp, from what we've heard of him is passing, forget the preseason game, but it seems like as we get later in the camp, it seems like Jalen Hurts is getting better and better throwing. That's what we're starting to hear. Every day it sounds like he's getting better and better with it. So hopefully that continues. But he had a great day. And speaking of great day passing, Gardner Minshew had a pretty good day throwing. So it's good to finally see life in the man that lives in a van down by the river. Gardner Minshew having one of his better training camp practices performance of the summer. Just had a good red zone touchdown throwing to Noah Tagaya, who is doing everything he can to make the team pound the Eagles. So it's good to see both quarterbacks playing really, really good. It's a good thing. And the defensive line, for the most part, they had a pretty good day, too. There was one point, even though Jalen Hurts has been throwing well, there was a point where he got sacked 3 straight times, okay? So the defensive line, I think, is going to be one of the dominant parts of this team. Had a good day. And like I said, Bradberry went out, and when he did go out, Josh Joby got some first-team reps. Says undrafted free agent who keeps moving up the depth chart, Josh Joby. He's working with the ones today after Bradberry went inside, was part of outstanding defenses at Alabama. So that's somebody definitely to keep an eye on. Now, Bradberry did come back out, like I said earlier, and he was with the team doing 11-11. Didn't take part in drills, but he was out there. I think that's usually a good sign that they come back out there. Another guy I want to talk about is Nakobe Dean. Because Nakobe Dean, we heard a lot about, hey, Nakobe Dean hasn't done really anything in camp. It's been Kazir White and T.J. Edwards, 2 of the guys who've been the best in camp so far in terms of our linebackers. But today we finally heard, we really didn't hear anything much about Nakobe Dean until the preseason game when he went out there and was fantastic. Well, he had a really good, really strong practice, broke up some balls. So it looks like Nakobe Dean is getting going, and I just wonder if Nakobe Dean is one of those guys that when the lights come on, when you have to go and play, he's going to be ready to do it, and that's just the way he is. So something definitely to keep in mind. As far as the rest of this week goes, the Eagles will be practicing with the Cleveland Browns. That should be interesting. I don't know how much public the media is going to be able to see it and all that. And then hopefully, like I said, hopefully they play some starters this week versus the Browns. I hope it's not a situation where they practice hard all week and then they get to the preseason game and they play all their backups. I don't want to see it. I want to see Hurts play. I want to see some of these starters play, but only time will tell. Should be back. Most likely, we'll see. Should be back later, possibly for another video later tonight. But that's pretty much practice and what happened today. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. So you knew I had to do a little segment here on the finale of Better Call Saul, right? You have to know that, right? And if you haven't watched it yet and you want to watch it and you don't want any spoilers, I give you 5 seconds. Okay, Better Call Saul finale. Wow, that's all I can say. Did not go how I expected it to go. And I loved it. Only thing I wished was that Saul still only got 7 years. Okay? And here's my thinking. I love the part where they were talking, you're going to do 130 years plus life or whatever it was. And he was like, he talked him down to 7 years. I thought that was completely great, fantastic, Better Call Saul stuff. But then he decides to go against that agreement he had set in order, basically, I don't know, to make peace in his heart, to save Kim, whatever. I wish he would have still got only 7 years. I thought it was hilarious that everybody in prison loved him because he's Saul, Better Call Saul, right? So he's got like a lot of respect in prison. But now he's going to do 82 years. I think that kind of sucks. I mean, they always talk about how in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, they try to give the characters the punishment that they deserve. But if you really look at it, Saul, all he did, he was a criminal. He laundered money. He was making money. He was doing a lot of stuff. But he didn't kill people. Like Jesse gets away, goes to Alaska. He literally killed somebody. He really pulled the trigger in cold blood and killed somebody. Saul, I think, got ripped off, man. I think Saul should have had 7 years and been done with it. That would have made it perfect. But even still, I totally love the ending, and I can't complain about it. Great show, and it sucks we're not going to have it anymore. Denzel Washington out.